up for Caspar et al. A very nice opening for our show today as we're talking about friendship. Friendship is that indivisible thread that binds us together through moments of laughter, shared exciting memories, heartbreaks even, and sometimes silence that is louder than words.
Those special people that make us laugh, that comfort us and make us understand that special moments are meant to be shared.
Indeed. And sometimes friendships can become starships. And right in the middle of the exciting experience, can capsize at the sea. What happens then? How do we find our way back to each other, if at all we should?
You're right, Emma. If you still recall or have that special friend who sticks closer than a family, then I would say lucky you. On Weekend Deal today, your favorite weekend show, we're inviting you to share your memories and your great friendship stories with us. I am Patience Eloyi Abba.
Weekend Deal, your favorite breakfast television show on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, every Saturday and Sunday, is streaming live on all our social media handles at NTA Network, just like today. Today is particularly special because we're celebrating all those amazing people that make us feel loved and special. My name is Thelma Obase. Okay, what a nice rendition there. A friend or a close friend, those late night talks, right? Lots of laughter, even through the breakfast, the early morning breakfast, the heartbreaks. A good friend is always there. But perhaps you are looking at your friends and your friendships and trying to see which one fits one, which one was there for the heartbreak, which one was there for the correct breakfast that you almost lost. Okay, let's go to NTA Yanagoa. Who really is a friend?
We have a phase and a stage in our life where we have some things we can't tell people, but you're looking for one person you could cry on the person's shoulder.
Friendship, a bond that goes beyond bloodlines, is also a connection that brings joy, comfort, and a sense of belonging.
Love you too.
If someone can be called your friend, it's not just a title. It's some level of respect, some level of commitment, some level of loyalty.
Friend goes beyond casual acquaintances.
In many Nigerian cultures, age grade systems also played a significant role in shaping friendships. Young people will bond over shared experiences, responsibilities, and rites of passage, forming friendships that would last a lifetime.
In those days, if you even look at the community setup, you know that if I hurt this person, I am part of this community. If one day they want to give something, and they will not give me because I'm not a reliable person, it will haunt me for my life. But today, you just meet somebody. The person did not know you far. If there is anything that goes wrong, it's not going to affect you. It's not going to affect your career. It's not going to affect your future.
My father will not allow you to make friends outside. And he always advised, when you get married, it is only your husband will be your friend.
Someone who is truly your friend, living closer to you. A point, if you are not careful, it will even be more valued than even your blood brother. So it can bring that communal relationship with you to someone who is not truly not from the same community with you.
However, in modern times, friendships are formed in various settings, including schools, workplaces, online environments, and even in marriages.
Things might not be rosy all the time, but I am a very good friend to my children and my spouse.
A lot of men miss it when it has to make their wife their friends. Friendship in home, in family, is that communicating with each other, that talk.
My wife is my friend. She has been my friend right from when we were teenagers. We are 37 years of marriage. And it looks as if it's just yesterday.
In my days in the university, like my undergraduate, one of the things I actually encountered, because that was the first time I find myself in a very broad environment of young people with different characteristics, different parental setting, different environment and all the rest. I think I discovered that man is naturally selfish.
Despite the changes, the core values of friendship remain the same: trust, empathy, and support.
At the point you have issues with your friend and you have shared a secret with him before, at that point of anger, you've not seen him spilt out what you shared with him. You know that this is someone you can trust.
When you are alone, it's like the whole load is on you. And this is when people go into depression.
I have a very negative perception of friendship. Presently, I can't boldly point someone to call that person my friend, because I've come to realize that people are so desperate to gain and benefit from the next person.
I had this friend. We were like sisters. One little house help came in between the two of us. The house girl told a lie. This, my friend, did not believe me. That single lie from that housemaid broke such a beautiful relationship we've had over the years.
Friendship is a precious gift that enriches our lives. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, let's cherish and nurture our friendships, because indeed, in friendship, we find our true selves.
That was both uplifting and a bit sad. Thank you so much, NTA Programme. A beautiful friendship that should be blossoming now is no longer there because someone believed a lie. And I also like it when that man said that his wife is his best friend. They've been friends for 37 years. Friendship always keeps the love going. Well, to tell us more about friendship, how to navigate friendship, the murky waters of issues when in friendship, is our beautiful guest. We love her so much. And she came in here today looking particularly beautiful with the right steez. She is a business psychologist, a mental health expert, and an inspirational speaker. She is Lady Kinye. Okay, let's see her profile. Oh,
We welcome
welcome.
a wonderful mentor, big sister, inspirational speaker, fashionable business strategist, a lady with number one steez, man. I say she has intellectual steez.
Yes, absolutely.
Please, let's give it up.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Celebrated and honored. And thank you for the invite. Very good morning to us all, wherever you're joining from. Good morning. I'm so glad and delighted to be here.
Nice. You know that I invited you when we were celebrating Nigerian ties that bind. You were a bit under the weather then. Good to know that you are.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
You are great.
I'm good,
Okay,
thank you.
now. Okay, we'll take our next feature, but that will not slow down the steez that we are amping up for you on the show today. Our focal point is on friendship, and there are so many things that can make friendship last. So where are we going to now? Wow, well, we're going to Lagos. Okay, Splendor, our dear sister Splendor Male has been talking about what we can do to keep the friendship strong, vibrant, and ongoing. Splendor, what did you thrust up?
Friendships are the thread that weaves our lives together. But in today's fast-paced world, it is easy to lose touch. Imagine working late nights with colleagues, supporting each other through thick and thin. That's the power of workplace friendships. Shared struggles and goals create unbreakable bonds.
Friendship is a union of 1 to more people that have the same values, the same goals, the same passion, the same aspirations, and probably the same environment even. So there must be something in common that brings them together for them to maintain that relationship and grow with it.
The workplace is not initially built for friendship. You need to understand why you are even in the workplace, right? You are there to be productive in what you've been employed for. However, in the process of working together, because you are not working in isolation, of course, you're not working in isolation, you're interacting with people. So it means that in the process of working together, you begin to attract like, you know, and then we begin to make friends and all of that. So for you to maintain friendship in the workplace, first you need to understand why you are there. And of course, in maintaining it, you need to be able to separate official things from non-official things.
For many, faith plays a significant role in friendships. Joining forces with like-minded individuals can deepen relationships and provide a sense of belonging. But what about friendships between men and women?
Friendship is not limited to people of the same gender. In fact, when you look at the definition of friendship, it has to do with people that are connected emotionally, people that see common traits in each other. And when we talk about traits or attributes, it's not limited to one gender or the other. So I believe strongly that men and women can be just friends in Nigeria. I personally have many female friends, and it just ends as that.
In Nigeria, these relationships are often misunderstood. Can men and women truly be just friends?
One way we can correct that misconception is we need to start educating people more. We need to start letting people to do away with some cultural biases, some things that they do not really carry, they don't carry so much of knowledge, they are not factual. So we need to educate people that you can just be friends and nothing more.
What has to happen will be a reorienting. So being able to look at, you should be able to look at someone of the opposite sex as your sister. That would help a whole lot in terms of people having this, you're pretty much close to this person, and the next assumption would be that there's something sexual going on.
No matter how fast-paced the world may be, nobody wants to do away with a valuable person. Nobody neglects a valuable person. So first, be a person of value, that is, have something you are bringing to the table. Don't be a person that is always entitled. Do away with entitlement mentality, because everybody is moving fast. So if you are carrying entitlement mentality, you'll be dropped off by the way. So be a person of value, and of course, make sacrifices for people, and you maintain good friendships.
Friendships are a journey, not a destination. By embracing shared experiences, faith, and understanding, we can build lasting bonds. So, nurture your friendships and let them flourish.
Thank you indeed, Splendor O'Malley. That was amazing. And she said something that she said, friendship are a journey, not a destination. So you keep nourishing it all the time. And also, Lady Okay, there's something she also said. She said, some of the respondents there said, when you have you're on the same level, when you meet people in the same, having shared experiences. And then it takes me back to the Bible, Jonathan and David, where the father of Jonathan was aiming to kill David. One was a prince, one was a hunter in the bush, yet they were friends. How will you, speak to that?
Okay,
yes.
Okay. Let me start by saying, I think we should start from the very basics. What exactly is friendship?
Okay, good.
Let's not assume that everybody knows what friendship is, okay? So I would say, my own personal definition, I would say friendship is life's greatest gift. It's the family you choose. You are born, when you were born into your family, you didn't choose to be born into your family. So now you have an opportunity to to create a family. So friendship is the family that you choose. I was laughing. I found it very, very hilarious when they were singing that song. I'll be your 911.
Yes.
But if you do me
419, it's over.
It's over. So what does it mean by being your 911? Friendship, your friend is that person who's your accountability partner, the person who can give you counsel. Somebody said that friendship is a journey. So it's that person you can do life with on your journey through life. The person you can count upon, you know, at different stages in our lives, we need friends for different reasons. So as young children, they needed friends for validation, okay, to build their confidence. All right. So you see group of the little girls, oh, my hair is better than yours, healthy competition, my beard is better than yours. But as we grow into adulthood, we need friendship for emotional support.
Absolutely.
Because life is full of challenges. So you need somebody who would help you navigate through the hurdles and challenges that life presents to you. You need friendship for accountability. You need somebody to, you know, walk through life. Just like the Bible says, two are better than one. Two are better than one. And then coming back to your question and relating it to what somebody said, she said, you have to have the same passion, the same goals, the same. I beg to disagree. True. And that's where, you know, Jonathan, they were not on the same level. At all. No. So you don't necessarily have to have the same passion. You don't necessarily have to be of the same gender. That speaks to what you were saying, you know, just before we came on. You don't necessarily have to have the same desires, you know, but something is very critical. You don't even necessarily have to be in the same religion. Some of the greatest friendships have been between the Christians and the Muslims. True. And I think somebody should be listening.
Absolutely.
Listening to this. But what is critical is you've got to have the same values and principles in life. Because your values and your principles are the foundation of your life. If your values and your principles are not in sync, it will crumble. You've got to have the same, you know, believe in the same things, the same, you know. So, for instance, your values are uprightness, integrity. Yours is Yahoo and all of that. It wouldn't work. But if your values are in sync, whether you are Christian, whether you're Muslim and all of that, it will work. So that's where the Jonathan and the David, so they had the same values. My king, this is my person. So it doesn't matter what level. You see, very good friendships have been found. Somebody who is up there and somebody who is down there. So you don't have to be of the same social status. And I think just highlights what's in one of the pitfalls of what's going on around. Oh, I'm looking for somebody who's carrying the same Chanel bag as me. Somebody who dresses the same way as I dress. And I say it's a no-no.
Or lives in the same estate.
Yeah, or lives in the same,
kind of
or our children go to the same schools. No, not necessarily. It's the values and the principles that are the pillars of a great friendship.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Life is a learning curve. And sometimes, even if that friend has not come to your own level of uprightness and integrity, if you are impacting positively and he or she sees some value in who you are, it's easy for he or she to become positively influenced. And we pray for more of that, you know, after this show has been viewed by the millions who watch and enjoy Weekend Deal. There's something I saw some months back. I was reading a book, and it said in life, we come across people who are there to bless us, some are there to block us. Some are even there to distract us, and all of them are wearing smiles. And obviously, they need to wear smiles to attract you. And they say it behoves us to be discerning. Discernment, how big a deal is it? How ought we to discern? And even sometimes you find that somebody is not who you thought, but you can still ram it up and make something of it. Tell us about that.
Because let me say, discernment is kind of a big word. So we go say, you've got to be discerning, you've got to discernment, and we are all confused. Let me just bring it down to basics. Listen to your inner spirit. I'll tell you something, patience. Our lives are energies which people encounter when they come into our space. Everybody has that energy. I first heard that from Oprah Winfrey. And then as I, you know, studied and all of that, I discovered that it was very true. We carry energy with us wherever we go. So you're either emitting positive energy or you're emitting negative energy. And when people come into your space, before you even speak that, say something, all of that, they perceive or they have encountered the energy in your space. Okay? So that's why you see some people that they just don't feel comfortable around some people. It's the energy that person is emitting. So I would say
energy aura.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say so. Aura is, Thelma has this, positive vibes and all of that. No. I think energy comes from the spirit.
From within.
Aura, it comes from within. Aura could come from the way you are dressed.
Yeah.
You are a personable person. Yeah. Your steez, as Thelma borrowing Thelma's word as steez. But energy comes from within. Just like the Bible says that, good fruits cannot bear good trees cannot bear bad. So it comes from what is inside of you. Yeah. So I would say listen to your spirit. Our spirits speak to us all the time. But you've got to intentionally have a relationship with your spirit to listen to your spirit. In this age of device and technology, and there's one thing, you wouldn't hear your spirit. Because all of those things are distractions and annoying. So that's why you've got to be intentional at having some quiet moments. And once you develop that relationship with your inner spirit, it helps you discern. You just feel funny about certain kinds of people. So that's one. Another thing, I like to use the acronym, use your fact to discern who could be a friend. Your fact. Look at, is the person faithful? That's the F. The person faithful. Is the person authentic? Authenticity would always speak. A person who is authentic day, night, wherever you encounter the person. But a lot of times we'll fake it and fake it and fake it. So check for authenticity in that person. And then C, consistency. Is the person consistent? Does he or she walk their talk? I was having a conversation with somebody and the person was talking about, say, this woman, so she can lie. She can lie. So you find certain people, once they open their mouths, people are, so that person has proven to be inconsistent. So check for consistency. And then the T, truthfulness and trustworthiness. So do the fact check. The fact is critical. So I would say, Thelma, wherever, I don't know her for a long time, but I would see her, she's consistently herself, So check for those things. Listen to your spirit. And I think that's a good way to start, to begin to see, okay, can I walk the journey of friendship with this person? Can I give it a try? Because we don't know it all. We know only in parts.
Yes.
But knowing this helps you evaluate and say, okay, this is what giving it a try. This is what, putting some energy in this. Let's see how, and all of that. And I think I should just quickly put this out. Friendship, and it's very important that we're saying this and this, because in Weekend, we like to say we help you navigate life.
Yes.
We equip you and educate you and empower you to navigate life, okay? So I would say friendship is at the base, or kind of like the foundation of every relationship. Marriage. Workplace, business partnership. It's at the foundation of every mother, daughter, father, son. Once you get that foundation right, even when the hurdles or challenges of life, it will not crumble. Nice. But that foundation seems to be missing, and that's why we are, struggling.
Marriages are crumbling because it's not
that
friendship.
Basic. So I'm believing that as we unpack, in this, somebody will be helped.
Okay, I knew we were in for a master class the moment Lady Oke walked into our studio.
I'm sorry, I tend to talk.
No, that's amazing. That's what we're talking about. That's why you're here. And that's why you're even alone, because we know that you can carry it. No, they say friendship is reciprocal. That means that you give me, I give you. It doesn't matter the level that you are at. If what I can give you is material, you can give me support. You can give me the listening ear. So it's reciprocal. But what happens when friendship becomes a burden? One person is giving and give it, but and they like each other, yet it's becoming a burden. Please speak to that.
Okay, so let me use the concept of, and I don't know how these things come to my mind. Let me use the concept of emotional bank account. Have you ever heard of that word? Emotional bank account. Just like you have your bank deposit, you know your bank account, you go there to deposit. You can't go there to make a deposit when you, to make a withdrawal
when you don't have
when you don't have a deposit. So when you start a relationship with anybody, be it a friend or you have instantly opened an emotional bank account with that person. It's just something that just happens, naturally. You've just opened an account with that person. So now we've met in this place, we've opened bank account, So everything you do positive for that person, whether it is physical, whether it is financial, whether it is a comment, whatever, you're making a deposit into the person's emotional bank account. And people never forget how you speak to them. They never forget how you treat them. They never forget how you make them feel when they come into your space. They never forget. So you're making a deposit into that bank account, emotional bank account, okay? The day you want to make a withdrawal, if your deposit is so high, it's so easy for you to make a withdrawal. But the problem is that, and somebody spoke to that, entitlement mentality. One person is making deposit. Another person is withdrawing. So to answer your question, it won't work. It won't just work. So, and making deposits not necessarily have to be financial. That's why I said friendships can happen, somebody who is high up there, the rich also cry. Somebody who is high up there, you that is there, you can solve a problem for that person. What's this person's pain point? You can speak to the pain point of that person, and the person wouldn't forget. That's why you see certain people who are wealthy, a particular driver or domestic staff have been serving them. After a while, they become their family. So it even extends beyond friendship. You find out they begin to pay the bills of that person. They begin to train. The person now becomes a family member. It's the concept of emotional bank account. That staff who has so served and deposited that, it's so easy to make a withdrawal. It's so easy to make. So you want to be a great friend, begin to think of how you can make deposits.
That's the strongest thing I've heard this week. Emotional bank account.
The reason why we're talking about this is that in spite of the amazing words, amazing efforts, the emotional bank account, sometimes friendships become sourships. The friendship will capsize. Some people have said it's a pretend friend from the get-go, or something happened that changed the emotional balance of that friendship such that somebody felt, I can no longer. Just like we learned something here that friendship is a journey, not a destination. So if it's a journey, at what point does that sourship becomes challenging to work with? What are the things you can come back from? What are the things sometimes you can't?
Okay, so I'll start by saying that not all friendship. So you did say, if friendship is a journey, so why some work and some don't work and crash in the beginning. Let me say, not all friendships are meant to be for a lifetime. That should be a lifesaver for somebody. Not certain friendships are for seasons, certain seasons. Our lives are in seasons and in transitions.
Absolutely.
In seasons and in transitions. God brings people into our space and takes people away from our space. Life brings people into our space and certain things take people away from our space. So one thing you need to understand is know, for instance, for a certainty that our lives are in seasons and in transitions, and certain people are with us for a particular season to help us, one, or to teach us life lessons, because you could learn life lessons even from the bad things the person has done to you, okay? So that's one. The second thing I would say is, just remind me of that, the other thing you said.
About what can you come back sometimes.
Okay, when it goes wrong, when it turns to sourship, okay. So I would say there are certain no-nos. I call them no-nos, in a friendship. But before I go to that, let me say, when things go wrong, do you say, oh, this person wasn't true from the beginning? No, not really. I think that's the question I was trying to remember. The person could have been real from the beginning, but in the journey of your friendship, certain things creep in. competition. So friendship works when there's mutual growth. So in certain cases, you find one person moving up the ladder and the other person is not moving and becomes, but it's okay if the other person is not moving at your pace. But when competition and comparison enters into it, then there's a problem. I would often say that competition and comparison, they are spirits in themselves that steal health from anything that is alive. You know, even the Bible says, comparing yourself with themselves, you are not wise. Comparison is at the base of envy and jealousy.
True.
You know, so that person could have started authentically and loved you, but as life happens, time goes on, you are moving, you're getting promoted and all of that, and the person looks at his life, evaluates his life and feels, because it's always a feeling. It may not necessarily be the objective truth. It could be a subjective. The person feels that, why is it always you? Why is it always this? So competition enters. Once competition and comparison enters, there's a problem. I remember something Gayle King, you know, Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King.
Gayle King, yeah.
That friendship, amazing friendship.
Yeah.
Gayle King said one thing: no matter how celebrated Oprah is, no matter how, you know, well, she said she never feels envious or jealous of her.
One in a million friend.
One in a million friend. Once competition and comparison enters, then greed, there's envy, there's jealousy, and even when it started well in the beginning, it would it would definitely crumble.
It would be interesting to also chat with you later in the show about friendships, best friendships that have been of different gender. But Patience.
Interesting. You've not taken anything away from this conversation. Emotional bank. You have to deposit to withdraw. Do a fact check. And she told her what fact means. We'll be talking more as this conversation unfolds. I'm learning, but it is time for NTA Lagos to also add to our conversation.
Okay, actually, Dr. Ikpe is over there. Okay, Dr. Ken Onyali Ikpe is in Lagos. Dr. Ken has a profile, and we see it now, and I'm sure then we touch base with him over there.
Hello, Dr. Ikpe. Hello. I can't wait to hear your great friendship story. I can't wait, but we'll go on the break. When we come back, you will tell us your story.
Okay, we're talking about friendship today on Weekend Deal. We have been talking with Lady OK, a woman whose intellectual steez still gets me. I'll be gaping. I learn new words from her every day. So my library of grammar and knowledge is constantly on the up and up. And so at this time, we want to join Dr. Ken Onyali Ikpe in Lagos. Dr. Ken Ikpe is the immediate past Chief Executive Officer of Inside Redefini. That is one of the companies in the Troika Group. He's also a global penetration strategist and a business leader. And he was my lecturer at Lagos Business School, that is now Pan Atlantic University. Well, we invited him because he has an amazing friend, Mr. Nelson Ahaneku, and they've been friends for over 3 decades. Dr. Ikpe, welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you, Thelma, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, Nigeria. I hear that I'm being watched now all over Nigeria and globally, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So, Patience, set the ball rolling.
Okay, Doctor, Thelma has already given us the info that you've had a friend for so many years and both of you have gone through life together. What was it about your friend that first made you make up your mind that he was going to be your friend, and what kept you going with him over the years?
Well, first and foremost, I believe you're talking about Nelson Ahaneku, Sir Nelson Ahaneku, isn't it? The whole world and everybody, family, friends, everybody know how close we are, and they know that I've known this guy for over 3 decades. In fact, it is so critical and serious that if you see Nelson and 30 minutes after you don't see me walking, then you know that there is trouble. Or you know that somebody is either unwell or out of scope at that point in time. So for me, I listened to you guys when you defined or tried to define what friendship is. I agree with you totally, but for me, friendship is a bundle of benefits. I mean, you must come to the table with benefits, and this benefit must not come with deceit. It must not be surreptitious. It cannot be cold and calculated, and only that you can draw, like your friend said. You have to be able to deposit that value on a consistent basis. So that's what Nelson brings to the table. You know, I'm sure other questions would induce answers that will make you understand how intricate and complicated that relationship has been. But it has been on the positive side, and that's why it has lasted this test of time.
Meeting both of you, Mr. Nelson is kind of reserved. You hear Mr. Nelson's voice for the most part when he's sitting with Dr. Ikpe. Dr. Ikpe is an extrovert, and some may describe Mr. Nelson as an introvert, but there's a bond. But I want to still go back to what Patience said earlier, because perhaps I know a bit more detail over time. But when you saw Mr. Nelson, I know it began from Shell. I can imagine Mr. Nelson 30 years ago, more reserved than he is today, and you being the extrovert. You've been outside the country, he had been in the country, you got there. What did you see? What was the first thing that clicked? You know, you said, perhaps I should pay attention to what Mr. Nelson is saying.
Yes, I saw a young man that was authentic. I saw a young man that was pure and original. This you don't find very often. Like you said, I've had the privilege of having Western education. Of course, that added to my solid local education at primary and secondary level before I went to Europe. But I just came back and started working. Yes, our paths crossed at some point. You mentioned Shell there. But I saw a man that was very authentic, original, and the simplicity he brought to the table at the first instance was immaculate and amazing, and that was the attraction. And we kicked it on. He is, like I said, he's a bundle of benefit. He brings authenticity to the table, hugely knowledgeable, which is very important to me. I don't want people I mean, life is too short. Don't come and waste my time. At every point in time, whenever there is a contact, there should be something I learn from you. If I'm not going to be able to learn from you and you're not going to enrich me, I'm not going to waste my time with you. It's as simple as that. Yes, in terms of humor, I can humor you and we can remain in that compartment which I put a lot of folks as associates or acquaintances. But if you're going to be a friend, then you must add value on a consistent basis. And that consistency must be ruthless. Ruthless consistency, that's what I mean.
So much, Doctor. The aim of this conversation is to motivate and inspire great friendships, and also to create great friendships where people know that the value of friendship. But we also know that friendship is not a bed of roses. We have our differences. We quarrel. We have issues. Have you ever had such times with your friend Nelson? And when you did, how were you able to resolve and go on?
That quarrel, altercation and argument comes on weekly basis, as a matter of fact. In fact, people who are observing from afar think that it never happens, but it happens on weekly basis, I can tell you. Because he is not the type that will acquiesce, he's not the type that you can cower, he's not the type you can railroad, because, listen, this guy has the 2 out of the 3 most important ingredients that make up a top-notch man. And those ingredients are intellectual curiosity, contemporary relevance, and, if you like, classical elegance. Nelson comes with 2 of them to the table, and those 2 are very powerful, which is intellectual curiosity and contemporary relevance. I also come with 2. But the other one, what he doesn't have, which is, because he has not paid attention to, is the classical elegance, I come with it, in addition to the other 2. So there is push and shove in the relationship. It's not an easy one, because he's a force, you know. And of course, like, if you know physics, you know when 2 forces meet, you know what could happen in terms of gravity. So that has been what has kept the relationship going. I don't want anybody that I can railroad or just be a runover, no, because he's not at all. So he is powerful in his thinking. I communicate far more. But when there is need for Nelson to communicate, I listen, because what he brings to the table are those things that I don't have. And what I bring is to his life is that, yes, I assimilate very quickly. I try to soak everything, spent all my life in strategy, so I know how to sift from the hindsight to insight, and I can foresight. So it makes me richer. And I come to the table and articulate it, and probably on his behalf put it across to other groups and target audience in a far better way than he would like to communicate. But these are strengths that are very, very complementary, and it has carried this relationship. So in terms of disagreement, those disagreements come every time we meet, as a matter of fact. We hardly agree on most things, whether it is politics, whether it is economics, religion, things of life, social insight. But if anything Nelson cannot articulate, does not exist. So if I need articulation, if I need anybody to put it properly, then I go to him. And we meet almost every other day, except I'm not in the country, I'm not in town, or he, conversely, is not in country or not in town. So we disagree. There are many things that I dislike, that he likes, and there are many things that I like that I'm sure, not that he dislikes, but he can hold back more than I can do, because he knows that the Kalashnikov will come out.
Great. I hope Becky Madajemu is watching us somewhere. You know, there's so much we can still talk about. But let me talk with Lady OK here. Lady OK, there's a word that Dr. Ikpe used, like, I don't want somebody I can railroad. I don't want somebody I can run over. I find sometimes friendships where, like I said, like he also agreed, Mr. Nelson is reserved. In fact, you could be in a place, you'll just be smiling. Hours. Dr. Ken will be talking, he'll be smiling. But like you said, they have a synergy. I find sometimes, some friendships, if you don't agree with what they are saying, it's like a betrayal. Must we always agree because we have independent opinions? Is that supposed to affect friendships negatively?
Okay, let me start by saying this, by busting one of the myths of friendships. You know, one of the myths that when somebody is your friend, you cannot disagree. You must agree on the same things. You must be happy all the time. Once you begin to have issues, you begin to quarrel, then it means you begin to doubt, is this person really my friend? Should I continue with this? So that's a myth, and it doesn't exist, you know. But I want to talk about, you know, another concept which I call psychological safety. What do I mean by psychological safety? Psychological safety is, you know, the ability to create an environment, is pick-up culture, where you can settle differences, talk about the issues that you are going through in that whatever relation, whether it's a work relationship or it's a friendship or it's a marital relationship. So when those disagreements occur, if psychological safety is absent in that friendship, then it's a problem. But just like Dr. Ken said, the disagreements come weekly and all of that. But as long as in your relationship, in your journey of friendship, You have created a psychological safe space where you can sit down, okay, reason it, iron your differences. Oh, I agree with you, I don't agree with you, and talk about that. And there's something I remembered, an example I remembered, about a particular lady who shared something with me. She said she was having issues with this her friend, and of course, the silent treatments and all of that. But the friend came one evening and said to her, "Can we take a walk?" That's a psychological safe. She was creating a psychological safe space for her. She said, "Can we take a walk?" So she took her hand and they went for a walk and they were able to iron that difference. Out. So it's a problem when, it's not a problem that you have disagreements. No, it's not a problem. So you must not agree with the person. But it becomes a problem if you're not able to come together in that open space and resolve whatever it is. Because it's in your disagreeing that you get to know the other person better. It's in your ironing out those disagreements that I get to know, okay, Telma doesn't like this. Patience likes this. This is Telma's weakness. How can I support her through this? How can I strengthen? That's friendship. So if those disagreements are not there, you are just, flowing and agreeing on the same things, there's no innovation. The friendship, there's no growth. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the disagreements are actually okay. They strengthen the friendship. They strengthen the relationship. But I said, disagreements without psychological safety is headed for disaster. So there's disagreements here. There's psychological safe spaces here. And then you're able to resolve some things. But once this is lacking, then it's a downward slide. It's a downward
psychological safety. Yeah. Another one in the bank. I've learned another one. I mean, what makes a friendship strong is your ability to come back from a quarrel, from a disagreement. And that's where psychological safety comes to play. Now, we're talking about friendship through many eras. What is friendship in this time of social media? NTA, Yola will be telling us.
Technology has indeed brought about a mix of both real and superficial connections in online friendships. Some people form deep, meaningful relationships with others they have met online.
In most cases, we can say they are not real. There are few ones who are lucky to find out they are real for them, but in most cases, especially in this present generation, they are not real. Social media now has become a platform whereby most young people, young adults, they try to decorate their own lives, which is not their real life. They try to be who they are not. They try to be in a class whereby it's not their class. Apps like Snapchat and the rest, they can change your facial appearance and you become someone who you are not. So they can't be real. If somebody can change his facial appearance, he can't be real. That's not the real person. So it's likely people, young youths, are just deceiving themselves.
Social media platforms can indeed help people explore and express their identities by providing a space to share thoughts, feelings, and experience. Additionally, online friends can be just as meaningful as offline friendships for some people. Shared interest, emotional support, and regular communication can create strong bonds regardless of physical distance.
Online friendship, I don't think it can be as meaningful as offline friendship, because offline friendship, most people, since they are close to you, they know your strengths, they know your weakness, they know when you are down and when you are strong. They were close to you, they observe everything that has to do with you. But online friendship, they can only believe what you said, but they cannot see what you are doing.
Managing loyalty and betrayal in online friendships can be challenging due to the lack of face-to-face interaction and physical presence.
There are some hidden identities or there are some hidden behaviors you might not know about the person. And some people normally meet their, some people get victimized online by trusting some random friends online. You can meet a friend today, just within 24 hours, some people can decide to meet each other physically, whereby sometimes those kind of connections or those type of meetings turns into some kind of criminal activities.
Different generations have unique values, communication style, and social norms that shapes their relationships. Younger generation like Gen Z prefer digital communication, while older generation often favor face-to-face interactions.
We youth of nowadays, we call ourselves Gen Z youth. We have our own unique or peculiar form of communication. And I think this communication medium sometimes helps or become source of income to most of us, or to most of the online content creators. You will realize that youths today globally adopt this content creation as a means of livelihood. They earn millions of naira through it. So I think, yes, as compared to those days when content creation is not any means of earning, these days you can earn millions of naira, you can earn millions, you can also meet influential people whom can turn your life around financially and otherwise.
Friendship are a gift, and it's up to us to nurture and treasure them. As we navigate life's ups and downs, may we cherish and celebrate the friendships that make it all worthwhile.
They are taking it up a notch. You know, yesterday, before you came, Lady Oki, I was saying, I told our performer yesterday, I said, notch it, niche it, then creasy it. So I'll still say the same to Lady Ocha, Casper, and the rest of the team. Notch it and niche it. And then Casper is right. Okay, our messages are coming in, but I wanted to just reflect on what we were saying behind the scene about that some things that may be challenging to come back from.
Okay, So I thought I needed to put this caveat out there, okay? So I was talking about you need to, when set disagreements come, create that safe space, psychological safe space, so you discuss issues. But it's important I put this caveat out there. Not all issues, there are certain situations that you don't need to, it's okay, I must create, because I've said must create safe spaces, let's get to that safe space. So for instance, somebody has poisoned you. There's nothing about creating a safe space to discuss that. Run. Somebody has betrayed you. Somebody has slept with your boyfriend or slept with your husband or done something that's a real serious act of betrayal. So I felt I needed to say this so somebody doesn't just leave this after listening to this and say, okay, every time I'm going to a disagreement or every time my friend does something to me, let me create that safe space. No. Once they do something that you feel endangers your life in any way, either emotionally or physically, no. I think it's time to evaluate that friendship and know whether you need to withdraw.
Wow, thank you so much. Like Patience said, it's a master class and no knowledge is lost. As we learn, we share. Okay, thank you for reaching out to us. Many messages are coming. Who doesn't want a good friend? I'm yet to meet such a person. Okay, someone said this weekend do goodness. This weekend do flavor. I like it. He says, my question is, if you had a friend who turns out to be a sister, that's that friend, you know how we say sometimes some friends become family members. They say all of a sudden she gets married and perhaps she's still single and then she stops reaching out. And whenever you try to reach out to her, she doesn't care. Do I add one more before we address that? Okay. Good morning, Auntie Thelma and Patience. This is a private message, but he leaves his name and said I should share this message with Auntie Patience after the show. Okay. One of Auntie Patience's favorites. Okay. Thank you very much, Bashir. Surely I will let her know. Someone says, hello, weekend deal. Yes, great friendship is good. I think she addressed it, but let us still take it again. What happens when you are giving and giving and giving, and it seems like your friend believes that it's his or her own right to continue to collect? And like Lady Oke said, the giving may not just be financial. Okay, let me just add one more. This is talking about dogs today. Someone said, I want dogs. In between friendship talk, actually, dog is sometimes man or woman's best friend. Okay, I will just take one more. Someone says, okay, SOS from Lagos. Good morning, my darling sisters, our guest included. Thank you. Said you are doing a wonderful job. Say, please tell your speaker that she's impacting me and she's changing my life. He says it's SOS from Lagos.
That's why we are here.
That's it.
To empower and
but it does really help when you are going to the heart of the matter and the people are telling us that we're making the difference.
Yeah, thank you for that feedback. Yeah. Okay, so the first one was you have this friend who's not married. Okay. I would say In that situation, I think it's critical to not expect that the friendship would remain exactly the same, you know. So it may be a good way to start would be to make some adjustments. And again, that psychological safe space. Can you have a conversation with that person? There's something we do as humans, and that's because we are self-preserving as human beings. Somebody does something to you, say, okay, just day your day. Let me day my day. But don't forget that as humans, we are prone to biases. We are prone to misconceptions. We are prone to all kinds of cognitive distortions. I know that that's a very big word, but it's when our mind tells us, makes us believe something that is not real. So we personalize, we catastrophize, we magnify, we minimize, and all of that. No, but that's blowing things out of proportion, you know, personalize, making it too personal. And those are all cognitive distortions. So for that person, I would say, have an honest conversation with your friend. I know you are married, you know, this friendship cannot be the like way we used to be. But I value, if there's value in that friendship, it doesn't have to die because she's now married. But what is expected is that some adjustments need to be made. Yes. It is critical. Definitely adjustments would need to be made. But as I say, don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. Don't if it's a good friendship. So have honest conversations. But at the end of the day, if that friend does not want to continue with that friendship, there's nothing you can do.
Let it go.
But you are satisfied that
you did the best.
You did the best. And then treasure the memories you had. As I say, certain friendships are for a season.
For a season.
She's entered into another season of her life. Our lives are in seasons and in transitions. She's entered into another season of marriage. So treasure the memories you had with her in the season of her being single. And then move on. You'll find some other person. You know, that's what I would say. But don't do that until you have that honest conversations and hear from her how this can work. Moving on. That's what I would say. Okay. What was the second question?
They were just eulogizing,
okay,
they are enjoying the
question.
convo.
Okay.
And someone said they are learning that what we're saying is so profound and is impacting them, and that are going to do the best they can to do this in their lives and pass the word on.
And then let me say something. The concept of give a second chance. You know, give a second chance. There are certain things that are no-nos, okay? But there are certain things that you can forgive. You can let go. And again, your spirit will tell you the difference. Learn to at least cut people some slack.
Yeah.
Hear from them, give them a second chance. Let's not forget that situations can make people behave in certain ways. So understand what their situation is.
True.
Understand what they're... Because a lot of times we find ourselves, you know, once somebody does something to us once, it's all over. It's all over. Okay. And a lot of people have given up great friendships because of that.
Exactly, like that lady that said that her friend believed the house help and over her, and their beautiful friendship of years.
Yes.
It's over. Yeah. I mean, that hurts.
There was no safe space to discuss, you know.
Okay, Dr. Ken.
Okay,
Dr. Ken, I see you've talked a lot here and I know you listen to us. How would you respond to this? But I want to ask a particular question. You told us that for you and your friend, you have your challenges and your quarrels every day. Who says sorry first? Who creates that emotional safety? Who goes to say, guy, yeah, I don't do? Who says, is it you or him? Or do you interchange it?
Well, that's a very good question, if I must say, because if I hear a lot of people when they say, I don't owe somebody or I don't owe anybody anything. What an irresponsible thing to do or to say. You owe people courtesy, you owe people compassion, you owe people words like sorry, thank you. But between me and my friend, we find very creative ways. But by the way, I think I'm far more creative than he is. He is very direct. When he's at fault, he says straight away, listen, I'm sorry, let's forget about it. get on with it. That's how he says it. But when I'm at fault, I find a very creative way of presenting that. Sometimes it may not come through words, but he sees that through my actions, because the next day I know what he likes. That is beautiful, most expensive wine will be on the table before he comes into the room or whichever social space that we are going to share. So he knows when that I know when to appease, and he knows that I find a very creative way, but he verbalizes it. He just says, listen, get on with it. But I want to quickly add, maybe to come through questions, but if it's not coming, let me come what glues this relationship together. You see, this guy does not have any iota of jealousy in him. He's not jealous of my achievements. I am not jealous of his achievements. This is a first-class brain, I can tell you. This is a guy who, very early stages before he was even 25 or 30, became a chartered accountant after fantastic achievements in the academic fora in University of Lagos. So I'm not jealous of his achievements. He's not as jealous of my children. I don't sense it at all. With people, I mean, your colleague there said something about aura and negative energy. Nelson does not have any negative energy at all. He celebrates you all the time. In fact, it is him that tells me most of the time that, listen, oh boy, you have capacity, you can do it. Go ahead and do it. And he will go and celebrate that. Unlike other people who would, say, why always him? That kind of thing. So no iota of jealousy. He does not worship wealth. He doesn't worship money. He doesn't even want to know how much you have. He just says, can you simplify it? Minimize this into a bottle of beer or a bottle of wine. Let's have a drink and just go. The more importantly, Nelson does not have a relaxed relationship with the truth. This is the one I detest the most with people. People who have relaxed relationship with the truth. He tells you the way it is. If you like it, you process it. If you can't like it, like Americans say, if you don't get it, forget about it. So he is that kind of person. So we complement each other. He likes a football club that is from the south west of London that I don't like at all. And he brings the results to the table. He reminds me when last they won the trophy, which is most recent, even though it's a Mickey Mouse trophy. And he pokes me on the one that I follow. And I remind him that, listen, this is a contradiction for me, because I believe, being a brand exponent, you are what you eat, you are what you wear, you are the associations you keep. So if you support this kind of club, and the club has this kind of characteristics, I was asking him, if this club was a company, would you buy their shares? The answer is no, because I know how articulate he is in his analysis of value. If this club was a company and it has shares, would you buy their shares? He keeps quiet. They say, why are you supporting it? I see contradiction here, because actually the club I support should have been the type that his personality aligns with. But there's dissonance here. But I allow him be. And after every weekend, when the results go the way they go, we talk about it, we banter about it. But there are no feuds, no quarrels. We just find that alignment. I call it wheel balancing, and it's gone very well. So going back to your question, there are things we disagree on. I have to say sorry when I have to, but I find a creative way to do it. And he enjoys that creativity. But he is more direct. He just says, get on with it. I was wrong here, but get on with it. Just bring the bottle of beer. Let's get on with it.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ken. We'll come back to you after we have visited and made friendship, good friendships with Abba. But can we really make good friendship with Abba? Talking about pretend friendship. And we've heard about a casual relationship with the truth. We are people of integrity. NTA Abba, pretend friend, what is all that about? Can that friendship even last, Lady? Okay, I have my doubts.
In this time we are in, where trust has become very scarce, giving your all to another in the name of friendship has become a tall order for many. Friendship, I mean. A good friend is a beautiful experience when those involved have the same goals, but from experiences, friendship has resulted to regrets for many. So what is it that you ought to look out for in what they call a frenemy or a pretend friend?
The easiest way, or one of the easiest way to detect a friend that pretend to be a friend while he's your enemy, is when you discuss something with him, he'll go behind your back and backbite you. When he's in your presence, he's smiling at you. When you go behind you, he will say bad about you.
Friendship is parasitic, visiting only when they need your assistance, only to disappear when satisfied. And how do you avoid them?
The way to get healing, number one should be to accept the fact that I thought that this person is a real friend, but he has betrayed me. Acceptance of that situation is a step to go. Then another thing is for the person not to guide himself properly. So you don't just because one person disappointed you and feel that no one else in the world can be a friend again.
Having bad people as friends notwithstanding, there are still few people around. To be in a safe place with friends, keep your eyes open. Be slow in trusting. Above all, keep your mind open for them all. So when the worst eventually happens, you can navigate marking what type of friendship.
Thank you so much about pretend friend. Whether we like it or yes, there are some friends that come into your life with a script already written, and they will play that script. That's where what Lady Okay told us is right. Listen to your spirit. Listen to your spirit. I mean, you have to listen and know how to get out pretend friends. So we come back to our conversation right now. Thelma, you were saying now.
Okay, it was Lady Okay talking. Perhaps Dr. Ken thinks she's one of us.
Okay.
She's our special guest.
Yes.
Lady Okay is a business psychologist, a mental health therapist, and an inspirational speaker. And she's here today to nourish our convo. She is not an NTA staff. She's not one of the anchors. She's here to lend her expertise to this discourse, which she has done. So I get the impression that Dr. Ekpe was thinking she's one of the colleagues. So we'll go back to Lagos in a short while. I'm told it's almost time for Sports Summit. But I want to just say something before we'll touch base and maybe say bye-bye. Some friendships have, amidst everything, even gone on to have business together. They found, despite their differences, they're able to come together and say, even if you have 30%, bring, I have 70. And not because they lack resources, because they want that bond to continue with their children and family. And can we speak to that?
Yeah, so it then gets to the same things we began from. The consistency. There are certain ingredients that should be in a long term or that makes a friendship sustainable in the long term. Again, the authenticity, we've spoken a lot about that. Consistency is very critical, very, very critical, very, very critical. We've talked about truthfulness, okay? We've talked about trustworthiness. So you find that over the years, this person has been consistent, this person has walked his talk, this person has been truthful, this person has been, faithful, this person has been available there for you. You have gone through, crossed several mountains and valleys together. You have been there for each other over the years. So it doesn't just happen overnight. It grows just like with every other thing. Wow. And then let me say this, I think I need to put this out in evaluating the kinds of people you allow into your space. Sure. It's very important. There are three categories of people I say I know. You know when it comes to friendship. PhDs. Pull me, pull him, or pull her down. Yes. There are certain people who are who make it their business, they make it their ministry. They are actively working to bring you down. They don't make it obvious, but by the things they say, by the things they do. And then the small-minded people. These are the kinds that you talk to them about your life dreams, your ambitions, and they say, oh, aren't you trying too hard? They may seem to be helping you. Aren't you working too hard? Remember the last time you stressed yourself? Don't you think you should relax and all of that? Regrettably, you can't go too far with those kinds of people. And the last category, we've talked about that as the backstabbers, the friendly enemies, the frenemies. You've got to be adept at discerning those guys because they are not. You cannot discern them obviously, because in the face of it, they appear to be your friend. They say the right things. They do the right things in front of you. But they hate your
They
guts.
say the sweetest things.
They say the sweetest things.
It's like people are even getting more skill. Maybe there's a small kind of skill. You can up your skill on. Maybe they're getting some training.
In that,
it's getting sweeter and sweeter.
Yeah. So they say the right things in front of you. But then it gets again to discerning, listening to your heart, listening to your spirit. And
Good one.
understanding, yes.
Good
I
one.
just
So I don't know. I don't know if okay, before we go to sports, we'll go to sports now. All right, Godwin, take it away.
Thank you, Godwin and Nakina. I trust me, a lot of Nigerians needed that information, sorted out, and thank God you did justice to that. And welcome back to the studios of Weekend Deal. It's always a pleasure to take these papers every Saturdays and Monday mornings. My name is Suleiman Babajia Osman. Now we start with The Nation. Oh, sorry. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
The conversation in the studio has been...
Hello, Sule.
Have you deposited into your emotional bank account today?
And you look good, by the way.
Thank you. Same goes the other direction as well. And let's go straight to the papers. And yes, Trump is talking again. We're starting with The Nation with story just above the masthead. Resident doctors begin indefinite nationwide strike over unmet demands, but federal government commences release of 11.9 billion naira for health workers arrears. Details of that on page 2. Hopefully this will, push them to call off the strike, because anytime this strike is on, we know the consequences. Worry on age again. Politics reopens old wounds, fault lines. Details of that on page 19. Now to the leading story. Tinubu rejects U.S. redesignation of Nigeria as country of concern, says nation's constitution protects citizens of all faiths. Trump threatens a military action, aid cut. Now, Tinubu is quoting, President Tinubu is quoting, religious freedom and tolerance have been a core tenet of our collective identity and shall always remain so. Nigeria opposes religious persecution and does not encourage it. And of course, you can continue with this story on page 4. Now, that does it for The Nation. We cross over to Leadership Sunday. Now, to the leading story again. Still, Trump threatens war on Nigeria to save Christians. Experts explain how U.S. President's remark may affect Nigeria. President Tinubu says charge does not reflect the country's reality. Details of that are on page 4. Now, below that, we have why PDP lost Southern Kaduna to APC Speaker Abbas. Now, to Sunday Vanguard. PDP leadership implodes as rival faction suspend each other. Details of that are on page 4. Ekiti. Our re-election has implication for 2027. Governor Oyebanji. Details of that are on page 25. Nigerians groan as federal government, state, local government smile to the bank. Earn 41.85 trillion naira in 33 months. Nominal growth in revenue misleading, says economists. Details of that can be found on page 12. Country of concern, outrage over U.S. designation of Nigeria grows. As Tinubu replies Trump, expert weigh in, fear diplomatic, economic, socio-political fallout. Details of that on page 3. Now, the Sunday Punch. Power struggle tears PDP apart. Details of that on page 3. Now, Rumored coup plot, 11 billion naira found in detained colonel's bank account. Details of that on page 6. Now, Trump to Nigeria, stop the killings or face military action. Of course, this has been ongoing back and forth. Gunmen killed 17 in Plateau, Kaduna. Details of that on page 7. My brother abducted, killed by his herbalist friend. Unfortunately. Northern leaders seek united front for region. Details of that on page 9. Now to the last paper I have with me, and that is Sunday Sun. Now, Tinubu approves 11.9 billion naira for resident doctors to be paid within 72 hours. Federal government seeks fresh $1 billion World Bank loan to drive private investment, jobs growth. Federal government should be courageous to end Christian genocide, says Turaki. Details of that on pages 20 and 21. A country of particular concern knocks kudos for Trump. Tinubu rejects labeling, assures of Nigeria's religious freedom. Sharia Council clerics group condemns U.S. president's move. Khan seeks action against terrorism financiers. What designation means for Nigeria? Diplomats weigh in. Defection, trouble brews in the APC. But battle looms in states chapters as more governors move to join ruling party. No cause for alarm, party assures. I wonder, because it's always the PDP joining APC. Now they're saying APC wants to join PDP and other parties. So it's an interesting time for Nigerian politics.
We want genuine
friendship.
Genuine
friendship from the individual perspective, community level,
at
state level.
every level.
Yes.
If we are genuine and have integrity, anywhere we are and those we associate with, there will be good vibes. And to keep circulating that way. But let me quickly take some messages. And this first knock is for Sule. Suleiman, you need to be punished for not acknowledging these beautiful ladies in the studio. What were you thinking? Hey, ladies, I retracted. Anyway, so ladies, you're looking great. He's Alade Samuel from Abuja. Yes, we'll engage Lagos in just a minute. Let me just take one message. There are like 10 here. Somebody's even saying he wants to marry some people, approach some people. That's not what we're looking at yet. Perhaps we'll do that after the show. But quickly for the show. Yes, Peter says he was abroad for a long time. He came back to a best friend he had before he traveled. They communicated all the years that they were apart. When he came, they did good things together because he came with bounty. While he was here, the terrain did not favor him, and he ran out of the bountiful experiences, and the friend began to keep a distance to the extent where he doesn't take his calls anymore. Please address that. Also look quickly to what Patience shared earlier. Let me have you hand it over to Lagos, to Dr. Ipe, and we wrap all of that in 3 minutes.
Okay, let me start for what you were talking about, this three-way thing. You have a friend who was your friend, and I think that would also speak to what you're saying. He traveled, and before you came back, somebody has, taken your ship with that friend. Somebody has taken your place in that friendship. So let me say this: envy and jealousy, they are two very different concepts. A lot of times we interchange or feel they are the same thing. They are not the same thing. Envy is two-way dynamic. Jealousy is a three-way dynamic. So what Dr. Kwe was talking about, there's no jealousy and all of that, that's actually envy, because so envy is me looking at you and feeling she's achieved a lot, she has this, I lack, you have something I lack. So I become resentful, I become hateful, and I become insecure. But jealousy, on the other hand, is a three-way dynamic. So you are my friend, and then you went behind me, and you're now you're having friendship with another person, and I remove me from the, equation. So jealousy is me being anxious, afraid of losing what I already have. Envy is me being resentful because I don't have it. So here, I'm afraid of losing what I have to another person. I have evaluated the other person, and I feel the other person has more benefits than I have. So I'm afraid of losing you to that person. So I become afraid. I become insecure. I become hateful, and all of that.
So I can say that envy is the elder brother of jealousy. Envy is more wicked. Envy is more wicked than jealousy.
Their siblings. Their siblings.
The senior one. Yeah. Better, because it doesn't come from.
So it will be interesting. to know how Dr. Ekpe manages these dynamics. Because Nelson can be his only friend. And there are other people. So how do you balance? I think somebody would benefit from it. How do you balance this? Other friendships. And maintain your friendship.
Your bestie and
how
other
do you
friends.
set the boundaries? How do you set the boundaries? How do you balance it? I think somebody would be helped.
Dr. Ekpe, we have like 1 minute with you. Please help us balance it. As Lady Oke has said. How do you manage it? You have a bestie. I know you have many other great friends. How do you manage it? I know you have many.
Well, thank you very much. The way I manage it is I've perfected the art of compartmentalization. I'm hugely compartmentalized. So depending on the kind of and the fiber you are made of, there is a compartment for you to accommodate that, and I know the boundaries. It may sound mechanical, but it's something that has been practiced over the years. So I use my compartments very well. So I have people who are very great friends, very, very, very close friends. Others are acquaintances, and others are good from far, but far from good.
Ought we to laugh? Okay, Dr. Ken, your final words were the peak of our show. We want Casper and his team to play something amazing for you and Lady Oke as we sign off. So give us your final words as we say goodbye.
Final words is that friendship is everything. Just find a friend. Be friendly to people. Be friendly. Make sure that you understand that you owe people something. Don't say I don't owe anybody anything. Imagine what the life around the world would have been. If everybody is of that disposition. I don't owe you anything. You owe people compassion. You owe people respect. You owe people regard, and you owe people friendship.
Interesting submission there, and trust me, some would.
Thank you, Dr. Ken. So I hope you had a good time on the show today. From us here, it's bye-bye. Sule, you were speaking.
Final words from you, okay?
Yes, so for some people, for you to walk with a friend, they rather walk with a friend in the dark than to walk alone in the light.
Yes.
So, which is very, very counter, because we all need each other. Yeah. You understand? Genuine friendship is very, very important. And if you sense any negative energy, trust me, if you cannot salvage it, walk.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Let me wrap up by saying something very critical. Life is a lively process of becoming. A lot of times, there's somebody who is listening to me and saying, I've been hurt before, I've given up on friendship. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't give up on one of life's greatest treasure. When life gets you down, dust yourself up and try again. There are over 8 billion people in the earth. Just a tiny fraction or percentage of this population has hurt you. What about the over 90-something%? Dust yourself up. Go out there and try again.
Amazing.
She just missed it.
She just missed it.
Don't let anything dull your shine, baby. As we niche it into Casper and Lady Oche, right? I know they're going to play something great for Lady Oke and Dr. Ken. And we can deal.